Hey there, I'm Apple Creator with Investing Simple. Today we're going to be diving into my phone and I'm going to show you exactly how the SoFi Invest app works. So first off, what actually is SoFi? Well, in essence, it's this all-in-one personal finance solution for mostly young people looking to kind of streamline their finances. So we're talking things like credit cards, checking accounts, investing accounts, loans, insurance, kind of everything you need finance-wise all in one spot. But in this video specifically, we're going to hone in on SoFi Invest, which is their investing side of things. So basically with SoFi Invest, what you're getting is a stock market investing app that includes stocks, ETFs or exchange traded funds, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Within the app, you're able to choose whether you want to build a portfolio yourself or use their automated investing solution, which we're going to dive into inside the phone. And then on top of that, you're able to buy stocks by the dollar, not necessarily by the share price. So to buy some Amazon stock, you don't have to have $3,000, whatever the share price is when you're watching this video. You can start off with only a couple dollars. That's called Stock Bits, and it's a feature that SoFi does offer. But now let's get into my phone and show you exactly how SoFi Invest works. All right, so here we are in the SoFi app right now, and there's a ton going on, so I want to break this down for you step by step. So this is the main screen for SoFi. There's not a specific SoFi Invest app, so you're going to see a lot of different things in here that don't necessarily apply to investing. Like we've got money up here. Now this is where things like a checking account would show up if you had one of those through SoFi. As you can see, I do not. Next, we've got Invest, which is the more interesting area. You can see my portfolio is at $4.77 right now, so clearly not the main platform that I'm currently using for investing. This is mostly just for testing purposes, and you can see that I have a couple connected accounts in here as well, which we'll dive into in just a little bit. We've also got credit score and credit card, which aren't super interesting right now. Now, the first thing you see once you scroll past that kind of intro bit is your investment holding. So as you can see here, I own about $5 worth of Amazon stock in this portfolio right now. So like I said earlier, you don't need to have $3,016 to buy a share of Amazon with SoFi. You can use Stock Bits to buy only a couple dollars worth of the particular stock. And if we press view holdings here, we can dive in and see a little bit more information about our particular portfolio. So as you can see, we're up about 0.5% today, which is great. Up about 2 whole cents, which is wonderful. So next thing we're going to see here as we scroll down is the top market movers for the day. So the market has only been open for a couple hours here, but you can see that these stocks are the ones that are most moving during the particular day. We can tap in here. We'll get to this section in just a little bit. And then once you scroll down a little bit further here, now you're going to be getting into the kind of different business verticals that SoFi does offer. So things like credit cards, you can see that right here. Things like crypto buying, things like personal loans. So kind of the farther down you go, the more kind of ways that SoFi is going to like rope you into their ecosystem, which is a good or a bad thing depending on what you're looking for. But in our case, we're looking to focus mostly on the investing side of things. So we're going to move over to the Invest tab right now. Now, within the Invest tab, you're getting a little bit more of a breakdown with your particular portfolio. So you're going to see up top here, that is our account balance. And now we're up about 0.6% on the day. You can also see the account type that we're using is an individual active investing account. So like I said earlier, there is the managed investing where SoFi is going to manage your investments for you, charge you a bit of a fee for that. Or there's the active investing that is totally commission free. You don't have to pay anything to do. Now, you can open up multiple accounts within SoFi if you want to do some active investing, some passive investing. You can do that and press create a new account here just to show you what that looks like. So your self-directed IRA. This is a retirement account. So you can also open a retirement account within SoFi, which is pretty nice for you if you're trying to save on taxes. So that is one option, but the Let SoFi Invest for Me, this automated investing down here, that is the kind of passive investing that I was talking about earlier. If you don't want to select your stocks yourself, you can use that. They'll charge you a bit of a fee and they'll manage your investments for you, which is a pretty nice feature. So as we scroll down a bit further here, we can see that if we want to deposit cash into SoFi, this is how we would do it. It's very, very simple. If we want to put $100 in here, we can just do that, press review. I don't have any bank account added on this personal demo account right now, so we're not actually able to do that. So we're going to back out of that, but that's how you would add money into your SoFi account. You can also earn free stock from SoFi if you do refer your friends. So if you press this refer button here, you can share your link with someone, and if they deposit $5,000 into their SoFi account, they're going to get a free $50. You're going to get a free $50, and the world is going to be wonderful. So you can do that if you want to. You get a referral link here that you can share with people, but we are not going to worry about that too much for now. Next thing you can see here, there's some pretty interesting features that SoFi offers that a lot of these other investing apps don't. First of which is the leaderboard. So you can actually see on this leaderboard how other investors are doing in the market. So overall, you can see that in the last 30 days, these are the different returns that other investors have gotten on the platform. So it's kind of cool. There's a bit of a social aspect here. If you're really trying to be a very, very active investor and really make some great investments, you could potentially be featured on the leaderboard, which is super cool. And you can see here, some of these people have gotten some really nice returns over the last 30 days, which is quite impressive. I mean, 400% return for Gerald here in the last 30 days is definitely nothing to scoff at. So we got a top 10 list here. You can also see if you're following any different investors, how their portfolios have done over the last 30 days as well, which is pretty cool. Now, as we scroll down a bit further here, now we're going to get into how to actually find stocks on the SoFi platform. So down here, you're going to find this discovery section. And in here, you can choose from a whole number of kind of different ways to find stocks on SoFi. So starting off here, the diversified portfolios, that's one way to find different stocks here. And you can kind of choose how aggressive you want to be with your investing. It'll give you some recommendations and kind of help you put a portfolio together from scratch, which is pretty nice. Additionally, you've got stock bits, like I talked about earlier. This is where you can buy fractional shares of stocks. So if you want to buy some Tesla here, you could say buy now, and you could select shares or dollars to kind of decide whether you want to buy in terms of shares or in terms of dollars. Now, beyond that, you can also transact crypto, like I mentioned earlier. They've also got the SoFi Social 50 stocks, and these are the stocks that the most people on SoFi are actually holding. So if you want to get a feel for what other SoFi investors are doing, you can take a peek at those. There's a bunch of other categories here that you can look through as well. Now, one of the things that SoFi has that a lot of other apps don't have is they have their own ETFs, and these are exchange-traded funds like I mentioned earlier. On most platforms like Robinhood or Webull, you can buy ETFs, but Robinhood and Webull don't actually create their own ETFs, but SoFi does. So you can tap into these and kind of see that depending on what kind of investing strategy you're following, you could potentially invest in some of these ETFs. So they've got the SoFi Weekly Income ETF. This one sends you a dividend check every single week just for owning the stock. Comes in on Friday, I believe. You've also got the gig economy ETF, which takes advantage of things like ride sharing and food delivery and these other gig economy kind of companies, which is pretty interesting as well. Now, one thing you're going to want to watch out for with these SoFi ETFs is that the expense ratios can be a little bit high. Now, you are going to have to pay a little bit more because you're investing in more specific things, whereas if you compare that to like an S&P 500 ETF, the expense ratio could be as low as like 0.03%. With these guys, it's going to be a little bit higher, but you kind of got to weigh the pros and cons of, okay, if I really want to invest in the gig economy, maybe it's worth it to pay a little bit more in fees in order to get that exposure. And then on top of all of that, they also do have learning resources here at the bottom here under SoFi Learn, where you can learn a lot more about how to actually trade on the platform, which is pretty nice. A lot of these investing apps don't actually teach you that much about how to be a better investor. So the fact that SoFi does that really does set them apart from a lot of the other apps out there. Now, overall, SoFi is going to be one of the easiest apps for newer investors to get started with. This is for a number of reasons. First, it's really easy to get started by investing small dollar amounts into these larger companies, like I showed you with the stock bits. Next, you can keep tabs on what other investors are doing through the leaderboard and through just following other investors on the platform. And then you can also choose how hands-on or hands-off you want to be with their automated investing features or their standard account where you pick the investments yourself. There's also no risk, so it doesn't hurt to try downloading the app and see if it works better than what you're currently using to invest in the stock market. Now, if you want to learn more about how the SoFi app works, we actually have a full comprehensive review on our website, investingsimple.com. The best way to find that is to head on over to Google and type in "How does SoFi work?" and then click on the link for Investing Simple. We'll see you over there.